Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody here to our first keynote of the conference here at the summit, and it's The Hidden Power of Care by Dr. Charlie Minnick. It's my great pleasure and honor to introduce my friend and colleague and someone that I've known for 20 years here and tell you a little bit about him. Dr. Charlie Minnick is in his 21st year of service to the university. His past positions have included president of the Iowa campus, the dean of the Forbes School of Business and Technology, the program chair and associate dean. Dr. Minnick serves on the board of commissioners and as accreditation site team visit chair for the International Accreditation Council for Business Education, also known as IACBE. In 2014, Dr. Minnick was appointed by then Iowa Governor Branstad to serve on the Iowa Commission of Volunteer Service. In 2017, he was reappointed to a second term by current Governor Reynolds. In 2019, he was elected to a term as president of the Iowa Advisory Council of Military Education. In 2009, Dr. Minnick was recognized for excellence in teaching by the Commission for Accelerated Programs. He was one of the 3 award recipients from across the United States. He is a co-author of the textbook entitled The 5 Functions of Effective Management. You know, one of Dr. Minnick's proudest accomplishments is the development of the Office of Service and Leadership at Clinton, Iowa campus. Dr. Minnick's personal mission statement is to positively impact the personal and professional lives of others through purposeful leadership, empathy, care, and action. Dr. Minnick, welcome to the Culture Care Summit.
Wow, Bill, thank you so much. Bill and I go way back. We've known each other probably 25 years, so it's been a pleasure and honor to be Bill's friend, colleague, compadre, all those sort of things over the years. So I'm really thankful for that. So, so we're going to talk today about kind of the hidden power of care. It's a topic that's very near and dear to me, and we're going to connect it to from self to community, kind of the larger community, to our student body. So how do those 3 things all fit together is what we're going to work on accomplishing today. So a good place to start for me is what does service mean, at least to me. So here's Charlie's Super 6 beliefs and actions. I guess if I could have come up with 8, we could have the Elite 8 to kind of play into basketball, but we'll stick with my 6 that we have here. So the first one is to be present. So to me, what that means is it's more than just showing up in a room. It means being with people, because present communicates something powerful without saying a word. And I think we have so much going on in our world today. So I think when we're be present, it's be there, interacting with people, be engaged with people. It's okay to put your phone down for a little bit, I think, and not pay attention to that. So physically be there, mentally be there for people, I think, is what's really important. So what that communicates, I think, is that you matter to me right now, that I'm here for you. I'm here to listen and engage with you. So the second one would be to listen, to understand, and not just respond. Okay. So listening to understand requires something a bit different, I think. It's about humility, I think, a little bit. So it asks us these questions. Okay. We have to slow down a little. So what is this person really trying to say? What is this person really feeling at this point? And what matters to them? Okay. So when people feel heard, they're able to open up and express their interests, desires, questions, all that sort of thing. Plays into this idea of psychological safety, where people feel safe to open up and to be their genuine self, I think is really important. So the next one is, how do we help others get what they want? That's where leadership, I think, becomes service. It doesn't mean ignoring goals or performance by any means. What it means is aligning those goals with the person. When we understand what people want grow, opportunity, flexibility, purpose, you can connect that to the work. So growth is the result. So I think it's important when you do performance reviews to always talk to people, what can I do to help you get what you want? It's kind of a partnership sort of thing, okay? And the next one is do what matters most. So over the years, I think I've learned that care isn't really about doing more necessarily. It's about doing what matters the most. At its very core, care is an active commitment to notice, to act, and lead in ways that helps others to grow, belong, and succeed. Okay? And the next one is care is revealed by design. Care is not just a feeling, it's a system. How decisions are made, how feedback is given, how people are recognized, what we do with that feedback that people give to us. So I think when care is designed into the experience, people don't have to guess about the care that's being expressed to them. They feel it consistently. And I think consistently is the key. And the last one is that people need to know they matter. Don't assume it. Don't hope for it. Know it. It's in the small moments that really can matter the most. A thank you, a genuine thank you. A check-in with somebody to see how they're doing. Remembering something important to them. Creating space for someone's voice is important. You can't expect people to give their best if they don't feel valued. So I have to share, so I'll try to share a couple of stories along the way. So years ago, I was teaching a face-to-face class. It was on leadership, and the student come into class, he goes, I have the coolest story I have to share with you. Well, I love cool stories. So I go, but you got to share it with everybody. So I'm going to date myself a little bit here, but that's okay. So he said he worked at this company, and the CEO had like an admin sort of person, and her goal was to see Brooks and Dunn. Okay. So the CEO, thinking about how can I do something that shows that I care about her. Again, this is where I'm going to date myself. In those days, if you want to get the very best tickets, you had to go kind of stand in line when the ticket office opens. Maybe some of you did that in the past. So what he did is he went and stood in line himself to get her the very best tickets that he could. When you talk about a culture of care, doing stuff that showing people that they matter. There's lots of ways he could have did it, but he chose to go do it himself. So he made sure she could get the best tickets that she could. So that's pretty cool. So that's just one example of showing people how they matter. Okay. So again, we're going to talk about these interconnected pieces, I think, as we go along. So when services is rooted in care, it moves beyond meeting needs to uplifting people and creating conditions for trust, belonging, and growth. So I think true service begins with self-care, because tending to our own well-being allows us to show up with empathy, presence, and purpose rather than burnout. Okay? So care at the community level reflects shared responsibility, where service becomes a collective commitment that strengthens trust and ensures people feel respected and included. Within such communities, individuals don't just receive help, they experience belonging. You think about if you had a community that you really felt a part of, how you really felt that you belonged, you were an integral part of that community. And from the student standpoint, care is in the foundation that shapes engagement, persistence, and confidence in their future. When care is present across self, community, and student interaction, it transforms outcomes in ways that strategy alone cannot. So I have to explain the little picture on the bottom. We went to, so this was the last campus graduation was in 2016. So the softball team had played in the conference tournament, and they were playing for the conference championship. So they were going to miss the last graduation. So what we did to try to acknowledge them is we took the show to Atlanta a little bit. So they had their own little graduation ceremony so that we could recognize their accomplishments, not only academically, but athletically as well. So they had their own little ceremony. So we made sure that they got to be they got to be part of the show. So, but I think when we make these connections between self, community, and care, allows us to most positively implement a culture of care in many different aspects of our world. So when we get to the classroom, we don't have to like flip on the culture of care switch. It already is alive and well in many different aspects of our lives, and it's really part of our DNA. It's who we are. Okay. So this is one of my favorite things of thoughts of all time. So I think a single thought can start so many things in our life. So we think about, we sow a thought, we reap an action, and action then becomes a habit. Habits can become character, and then character can help to reap our destiny. So if we think about that progression, it all starts with the thought, sometimes small, sometimes almost invisible, but thoughts don't stay thoughts. They become actions. Actions repeated then become habits. Habits shape our character, and over time, character then helps to define our destiny. So when we talk about service, when we talk about care, we're not just talking about what people do. We're talking about what they think, what they believe, and what they experience consistently. Okay, so we're going to come back to this one at the end. So we'll talk more about this when we get a little closer to the end. So let's talk about serving ourselves first. First of all, it's really hard to pour from an empty cup. Okay, but you can from a cup that's overflowing, a full one. Okay, when we think about service, we often jump straight to what we give. Okay, but great service begins with the quality of what we bring to the room, our presence, our patience, our purpose. So think about how that important those three things are as we come to the classroom and exhibit a culture of care for our students. Okay. Care for self is not selfish. It's what allows us to serve without burning out, without losing empathy, without going numb. So if we're serious about serving others, we have to be just as serious about sustaining ourselves first. Because the goal isn't to give until we're empty. The goal is to live and lead in a way what we can give, how it comes from a place of fullness. Okay, compassion, care, fullness. So I think that's where it comes from. And when we care for ourselves, we bring more of who we truly are to others. More patience, more presence, more empathy. And that's what makes us better listeners, leaders, collaborators, and better educators in the long run. Okay? So it all has to start with us. So don't sell yourself short. It has to start with you. Okay? Then let's move a little bit to our community. So community is ultimately a reflection of our daily choices. Each interaction, every process, every act of service contributes to the culture we build. Care at a community level means we understand our connection to one another. It's the recognition that brings each person's well-being, how it influences the whole, and that our choices, big or small, shape the health, resilience, and vibrancy of the various communities that we are part of. It doesn't mean that it's important we not see service as charity, not as an obligation, not as a favor, but as a shared responsibility. Often I found if get involved in a lot of service things, what people really need some days is a hand up, not a handout. That's what folks need lots of days. So there's a difference there, I think. So when care becomes collective, community grows strong, trust deepens, and people, especially those most often unseen, begin to thrive. A caring community is one where belonging is prioritized and people don't just receive service, they experience respect. Again, I think so often people just need a hand up, not a handout. Okay. So what does service look like? So here's some thoughts and ideas what service look like. I think Well might have some different ways. Here's some ways that what service kind of means to me. So I think with the faces of serving community. So what does serving the community look like a little bit? So on the upper left hand there, a lot of times, so I was fortunate, as Bill said, to work on that residential campus for a long time. The upper left hand, we did stuff with the youth of the world. We did a lot of stuff with big brothers, big sisters. I think anything to do with kids has a special place in my heart because they're really the future of our world. The right-hand side, we took 21 students to a service trip in New Jersey after Hurricane Sandy hit. And it was just an amazing experience. When we got out there, people were like, so you rode 16 hours on a bus on spring break to come help us clean up. You know, they were just touched that people would do that of their own accord. And for me personally, what was cool about that is I got to experience that with my son. So that was pretty cool. Bottom right hand, we had students who went and worked with like daycare, again, with kids. How can we work with the youth? And then the left side, there was a hurricane that was pretty bad shape. Dr. Woods went with us on this one. It was in Washington, Illinois, which is down by Peoria, about 2 hours from where Clinton was. So this happened, and the students were like, "Okay, we have to do something. What we have to do something to help these people." So they got it all together. We took down 2 U-Hauls of supplies that they got with reaching out to the community, and it was really impactful. We were there like 48 hours after the tornado hit, and it was really impactful how these acts of kindness impacted other people. So the cool part is it was student driven. They're like, we got to do something to help these folks, and they just operationalized it. So I think the next one is there's lots of little ways I think we can do service. Upper left hand side, we had a student who went to a nursing home kind of place, and they did a manicure for a lady who probably had one in a long time. Bottom left, students did they planted like flower beds and vegetable gardens, those type of things. In the middle, we had folks from retirement kind of home come to the students, interact with them, just to hang out and have fun and get the energy that students have. So upper right is students went and visited with at a retirement kind of home on Mother's Day, just to interact with people too who might not have had that sort of interaction. And the bottom right did a community thing with Easter egg hunt for kids in the area. So there's lots of ways to give back. Sometimes it's so small, they don't have to be these huge, gigantic things. I think there's no greater calling in life than making a positive difference in the lives of other people. If you can do it in small, sort of impactful ways, that's pretty cool, because it has a lasting impact on the people who receive the service, but also those who do the service. So lots of ways to get back to the community. So don't find what works for you, but find some way to give back. I think is important. So this is a little thing that's hung on my office for decades. Okay? I think it really connects what students, what it's all about, I think. Okay. And it's called The Student Is. Okay? And here it goes. The student is the most important person on the campus. Without them, there would be no need for the institution. Not a cold enrollment statistic, but a flesh and blood human being with feelings and emotions like our own. You know, we all have that. We all have those good days, bad days, up days, down days. We all have those kind of days. So students are just like us. Not someone to be tolerated so that we can do our thing. They are our thing. Okay? Not dependent on us, rather we are dependent upon them. Okay? And this is the most important one to me. So if you don't remember anything else, please remember this last one. Not an interruption of our work. They are the purpose of it. We're not doing them a favor by serving them. They're doing us a favor by giving us the opportunity to do so. There's lots of places in the MARC students can go to for their education. They've entrusted us with that. So everything we do, all the actions we do, the time we spend, we need to keep in mind that they're really providing us with the opportunity to help them reach their goals, objectives, all those type of things. Okay. So next one. So playing off the student is, I think, service and care for our students help shape their journey. It influences how they show up, how they persist, and how they imagine their future. And how cool is that? We have the incredible responsibility of not only of people helping them imagine their future, but how they're going to get there. We believe in you. A lot of folks haven't had a whole ton of people believe in them along the way. We have the chance to help that imagine what they're imagining come to life, to come to fruition, and ultimately reach their academic and professional goals. Okay. I think when care and service are present in ourselves, in our community, and in our daily interactions with our students, it transforms outcomes. I think for all of us, it transforms me, it transforms them. But when care is absent, even the best strategies fall flat. You've got this strategy, this nice little thing hangs on the wall or the piece of paper. But if it's not implemented with care and service and helping other people get what they want, that strategy is going to fall flat. Care is not just about kindness either. It's a condition for academic success, engagement, and persistence. I think what we do is we get in the classroom, sometimes students, life gets, about the time we know the answer, somebody changes the questions, life happens all that way. I think we have to focus on interest, not just positions from a fact teachings. And what I mean by that is this. So, if students have an assignment due on Sunday, a position, if you take the position approach, which is kind of rule driven, would be that, Sunday is Sunday, late points for you, that type of thing. But if we go at it from the more caring standpoint where we focus on interest, I think we all have common interest. We want to help students be successful, to get the most out of this class, to get the most out of their degree, to help them be successful and get the future that they envisioned, all those type of things. So if we keep those common interests in mind, then I think we're much better off from a culture of care. So focus on interest. What do we have in common that we want to see happen for students? Not so much rule driven. This is this. Don't cross over the line. So focus on interest, not positions, helps a lot, I think, as we go through the example. Students who feel cared for are more likely to ask for help, stay enrolled, and believe in their potential. We all get where we are in life because people believed in us and provide us with opportunities to be successful. So think about your own life. There's probably a time or two along the way where someone believed in you, gave you an opportunity when maybe you weren't on paper the most qualified person, but they saw something in you. They know what, I believe in you. I'm going to give you this opportunity to be successful. And I'm living proof of that. Many, many years ago, I wanted to get into teaching. This was a long time ago. I had a person in my life who gave me that first opportunity. I'd never taught anything before. And she gave me the opportunity to teach my first course, which was a principles of marketing class on campus, on a residential campus. So she believed in me, gave me the opportunity, even though I had never taught anything before. But she saw something in me that she gave me that opportunity to be successful, and the rest has kind of grown from there. So, but if it wasn't for her, who knows what my future might have been. So she believed in me and believed in my potential and gave me that initial opportunity to start teaching, which was really pretty cool. So, but I think, yeah, just believe in people's potential. And I think so much, like things are like dynamite. Students are, the power's on the inside, but it's up to each one of us to help light the fuse. And it's important for all of us, even if we're not student facing, so to speak, but everything that we do in this entire organization impacts student success. So each one of us needs to be mindful of the student is. Okay? No matter what you do, things we do, process we do, changes we make should all be about how do we make the student experience how do we show that we care about our students, okay? And the coolest part of all is this. This is the coolest part of the whole thing, which is coming up in what, less than 2 months. I mean, I can just see it. I can just feel the energy when I look at this picture. So I think graduation, if you get the chance to go, you got to go. The stories are fascinating. The students are so thankful. The families are fun to meet. It's great to connect with those students, get them all connected, because a lot of times they haven't met until now. So this is the absolute very best part of the whole process. And, students go, thinking, I appreciate that, but I was telling them, man, you did the heavy lifting. You did all the work. I just tried to help and support you and guide you along the way to help you realize your mission. Graduation is just the coolest. So if you get a chance to go, you really got to go. It'll stick with you for a long, long time. Okay? So let's go back. Remember, we're going to go back to the beginning, I promise. So these type of things are this. Again, it's about actions. But all the thing I think is it all starts with a particular action that we have, or a particular thought that we have, okay? So here's my charge to you as we kind of wrap up here a little bit, is this. My charge to you is this, for each one of you. And you got to promise me you're going to do this, okay? So during the next week, please reach out to at least 2 people that you know or have impacted you, and provide them with just one thought on why you appreciate them. Okay. Perhaps that one thought will lead them to an action, which could lead to a habit. So maybe their action will be they're going to reach out to 2 people, and their people reach out to 2 people. So think about your one thought, which got to an action of reaching out to people. Think how many people that can mushroom to or grow to, that we can spread some appreciation and love in our world, because I think we need plenty of that in our days that we're living in. So, but hopefully it'll help them further define their character, which can help them better shape their destiny. Think of the power one action might hold. So again, it's a thought. So I encourage you, please, you got to do this. No, I mean, I'm not going to check in, but you got to do this. It's really important, I think. Just reach out to people and just tell them, thank you, and this is why I appreciate you. And then encourage them to do the same thing. And maybe we can spread lots of appreciation and thanks in our world by just one action, one thought that you had. Okay? So I think as we kind of wind up and we get up in the morning and we keep fighting the good fight. I'm a believer we got to keep fighting the good fight. We think about our culture of care, how we can positively impact each other. My hope and my wish for each one of you is that you have many more Tigger days than you do Eeyore days. Okay? So hope your life is full of Tigger days. Not so many Eeyore days, even though the human condition, we do have those Eeyore days. So connect with each other, take care of each other, be kind to each other, give yourself a little grace, and we'll help get us through those Eeyore days, I think, a little bit. So with that being said, I appreciate your time and interest, and just be good, be kind to each other is probably the message. So I appreciate your time.
Dr. Minnick, thank you so much. So many gems to take away in that. And not even just for those in education, those in our organizations that are here today. We so encourage you to see how your encouragement to your employees can help them find the better them inside of them. So many people out there don't believe in themselves and don't have the same characteristics as some who do to push themselves, because they just don't have that type of courage and that type of faith in themselves. So we highly encourage you to do that. Dr. Minnick, we had a question in the Q&A, and if anybody else wants to add one, I'll be happy to share it. So it says, how are you translating your on-campus serving of students where you walked hand in hand with them to the online environment? I think that's a great question.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So I think it's about being there. You have to maybe show up a little different. We have sessions where there's open time, they can come and meet face to face if they want to, because I think that's just because you're online doesn't mean you're alone. We want to make sure people can make those connections that way. There's different ways to, well, another way I do too is I let them call me by my first name if they want to. I mean, I think you can call me, I mean, doctor, whatever you want to. So, but I think that's connection. And when you connect with people, you get to call them by their first name. So feel free to, so I give people the opportunity to do that. And I think we just make connections and give them an opportunity to tell their story. So we didn't tell me your story, tell me what you got here. And it's like, wow, so this connected to this one. I had the same experience. That's why discussion boards, all those type of things are so important, is to make those connections. So again, face-to-face time is important, but really give people the opportunity to tell their story, even if it's in a and I tell them my story. I did my MBA and my PhD back to back, so I was in school for almost 9 solid years. I know what that, maybe that's why my hair is this color, but part of it was, but so I had 3 little kids. I worked 2 jobs. So part of that is, so I get it. It's hard to get, to make that commitment, but it's all about your why. Why'd you start this? The why, the how, all those type of things. So I just try to make it very personalized, I guess, and as best we can. And they can call me. They have my phone number. They can call me if they want to call me. We can do Zoom stuff. Just lots of ways to connect. I think we just have to be diligent in giving people opportunities to connect with myself and each other.
Dr. Minnick, I think that's a great suggestion. And we do have another comment and question for you, but I wanted to also comment. I remember, and I bet many do, back when we used Adobe for big meetings online. And I'll be honest, I didn't know my colleagues very well. You're on a phone call, nobody knows who's interrupting each other, no one knows expressions, you can't read the room. And for me, I know Zoom has become extremely invaluable to meeting with students, letting them let their kids come in and say hi and see what mommy or daddy does every day on the computer and those kind of things. And so that's a huge suggestion of mine, is being willing to take that time to see somebody like this, like we see each other now, and really be able to feel more of their story when they talk about it, because I do think it helps us to have more empathy, whether it's with fellow colleagues, with employees, with students, and in whatever environment. If you want to have care, you've got to take the time to do that. So I think that's great. Yeah. Another question that came through is, well, I'm going to say the comment first, and I'll do the question. First, you had a thank you for motivating my Tigger days. I love that too. I'm going to put a picture of Tigger up for myself. Okay, the next question was, love the idea of giving others a space to belong. What suggestions do you have when trying to create that intentional space for others?
Yeah, I think it's about relationships. First of all, you got to know what makes people tick outside of name, rank, and serial number. So if people need this space to get and belong, how are you going to do that if you don't find out more about them other than name, rank, and serial number? Tell me your story. That's why I get people tell me the story. Then I can be intentional about recognizing people, give them space on things that mean something to them. Because the last thing you want to do is create this space or this area that, well, yeah, this is great, but it's not my gig. So how do we do that? And so it's all about, I think I'm a big relationship guy. I think it's about effective relationships. How do we connect with people? That way you can do things that matter to them because of this. I had a student one time, like her name was like, I don't know, it was Susie, but she preferred to be called something whale, something very different. At the end, she goes, thank you for addressing me the way I wanted to be addressed. It's those little things like that she goes, just thank you for addressing me the way I wanted to be addressed. And it was a big deal to her. So just find out what matters to people. Relationships matter. And I'll give you an example. And with Bill, we last weekend we went to with Dr. Rochelle. We went and met. We had breakfast together. So each of us came about an hour and 20 minutes away. But the coolest part was we met in Rochelle, Illinois, if you know anything about that. So we got all kinds of cool pictures with Bill, her, and myself. But it's just those making the effort. People tend to do things that matter. So we each drove about an hour, 10, hour, 15 minutes. We connected, had breakfast, took all kinds of fun little pictures along the way. So, but it's those type of things I think that sustain us in the long run.
Absolutely. I think that's wonderful, Dr. Minnick. And so for those attending, we want to thank you on behalf of the University of Arizona Global Campus for attending our opening keynote. We have several more sessions this afternoon. I put up the link, and Stephanie did earlier, to, if you feel compelled to nominate this session for an award, that link's there. Also, the link to get back to our main website if you're wanting to see what the next couple sessions are before you make a final decision, and you can click to go into there. Do you also know, if you're kind of waiting to that last minute, all the award links, or the link to go to all the awards, it's actually on top of our website page. And so you can do that toward the end if you'd like. Those will be announced in our final session on day 3. And Dr. Minnick, we just, again, thank you so much. Any last words of wisdom for all of us?
Just keep fighting the good fight. Do things that matter. Relationships matter. Stay connected with people. It takes, the right thing is generally not the easy thing. So take effort and time to stay connected and make those great relationships. And that's really what matters. That's what sustains us, I think, over time, is those long time. And all the time I've been here, I've had just incredible relationships with people who've been here a long time. And
Absolutely,
just
it's
fighting the
worth
good
the
fight.
time.
Yeah. And form relationships that matter. That's really, I think, important.
Absolutely.
All I will say is, what you see with Charlie is what you get. He lives it every day. I've known him for 20 years. I've heard him in a classroom. I've heard him on campus. He mentioned we met Rochelle in Rochelle, Illinois, Saturday. That was fun. But we're always making memories. So if you want to, I'll add one little piece to this. If you want to get to know somebody really well, make a memory with them. Charlie's made a lot with me. So thank you, Charlie. Great talk.
Absolutely.
So
take the time for your employees, take the time for your customers, for those you serve, for your students. And we do hope you're enjoying day 1 of the summit. Don't forget, we have 2 more days coming up. It's jam-packed, and this afternoon still got several left. So we hope you're enjoying it, and hope the rest of your day is fabulous. Take care.
Thank you, everybody.